Stuart Stroyley for Sailing World Magazine, coming to you today from the Weymouth Portland National Sailing Academy, the host site for the 2012 Olympic Sailing Regatta. I'm reporting on the U.S. women's match racing trials, which just concluded moments ago, with Anna Tunnicliffe, Molly Vandermoor, and Debbie Capozzi becoming the final 3 members of the U.S. Olympic team for the 2012 Games. They clinched the Olympic berth with a 6-3 win in the finals of the match racing trials over Sally Barkow and her team of Elizabeth Kratzig-Burnham and Alana O'Reilly. The action was quite competitive, actually even closer than the 6-3 score would indicate. Most of the races were decided by just a few boat lengths. For Tunnicliffe and for Capozzi, this will be their second trip to the Games. Tunnicliffe hopes to add to the gold she won in 2008 in the laser radial. For Molly Vandermoor, this is her first. The team, however, has been on quite a roll over the last few months, and this result was not unexpected. They won the match racing championships at the Palma Regatta and also at Hyères Week in France. Over those 2 regattas, they have won nearly 90% of their matches, an astounding total for a match racing team, especially when one-design boats. Up ahead after the match racing trials will be the Sail for Gold on this site. In June, that will be a dress rehearsal for the Olympics for many athletes. And then the World Championships in Sweden in late June before the Olympics in early August. But right now, that team is surely celebrating a sweet victory after a hard-fought and long 4-year campaign for the only U.S. women's match racing berth. Let's go to the post-race interview on the docks, moments after the trio had clinched their Olympic berth for the 2012
Games. It was going to be a tough day going into it. The weather was not necessarily spectacular, but the wind was good. That's all we need. So we were just psyched to be out there and have a good breeze for some good sailing.
You knew it was going to be a tough battle, and the end of that race was amazing. Can you take us through that?
The end?
Yeah. The end of
Yeah, we, Sally's team started the day really strong, came out with 2 wins. So we had to, dig deep and overcome her momentum, and had a really solid race in race 3, which kind of got us all back on track in the last race. We at times had a 2-length lead, and she closed it up to a 1/4 of a length lead at times. And just coming into the last run, it was all about, if we can just keep our breeze clear on the one jibe coming into the mark. And unfortunately, I jibed us right into her bad air and collapsed the kite, and it started wrapping on itself. But I think fortunately we had enough distance to just be able to drift across the line just ahead and take the victory.
Nice. And how about the race where she got rid of both of her penalties?
Yeah. To be honest, it all happened so fast. It was all a blur, and I made a massive mistake in that race, and it cost us. We really kind of had that race in the bag, and I just got a little excited and trying to go for the finish rather than just waiting. And she did a really, really good job at just teeing us up and sailing circles around us and getting rid of 2 penalties.
What was the mistake you made, Anna?
I just tried to jump her too soon on the line, and should have just been a little more patient and waited for her to get in a bad position for us to make our move.
Molly, this is your first trip to the Olympics, unlike your teammates. Tell us what it's like to earn that spot.
Oh, it's awesome. It's cool. I'm really glad that I have these 2 with me, and it's good. It's reassuring to know that if you work hard and you keep focused, it's definitely going to pay off in the end, and you still have a lot more to do.
Mm-hmm. Anna, in both of your teammates, you picked women who have done Olympic campaigns before. Obviously Debbie went to the Olympics, Molly did a 470 campaign. How important is that sort of experience, given the kind of the length and the grind that you guys went through?
I think it's really important, and also in the sense that we have understanding families at home. The Olympic whole Olympic campaign system gets really tiresome at the end, in year 4, because you just spend so much time away from home, and it's so close but so far away until the end. And these 2 know what it's like to just keep pushing all the way through to the end, and I think that was definitely a huge part that helped us just commit to the amount of time that we needed to our training all the way through.
Yeah, I did some calculations last night, and you guys, since winning the Worlds, have been on quite a roll, winning something like 90% of your match races, which is pretty unheard of. To me, that's a phenomenal percentage. I don't think you see that often. What's been the secret to getting that going at this time?
I don't know if we have a secret. I think we just train hard and treat every race as own race, and it doesn't matter who we race. We just try and have the same approach and keep it simple on the race course and stay clean. And no, I don't know. I think, you know, we just go out there and we have fun and sail, and, you know, I guess we have a good percentage out of it.
Debbie, does it feel like you guys have been doing anything different over the last couple months that's made you so successful?
No, I think, like Adam said, I mean, sometimes we think it's a joke that the three of us are allowed to, you know, every day go sailing and train together, and, you know, we have great sponsors that allow us to do that, and yeah, we just have fun. I mean, we're best friends, and then we get to go battle out with the best competitors in the world, and it's just unreal feeling.
What does this mean for you? I know there's probably some unfinished business for you as far as the Olympics go.
Yeah, I mean, you know, this time's totally different, and, you know, we're in a really different place, and yeah, I mean, our goal is to go win a gold medal, and so we're going to try everything we can do, and we have been trying everything that we can do, you know, from here on for the next 12 weeks.
Molly, when Sally won those two races, you know, the second one, she seemed to be sailing very fluidly at that time. I mean, they weren't. One of them was probably her easiest win, at least in terms of how the race went through the course for the whole regatta. Mm-hmm. Did you guys get a sense that she was building some momentum, that she was getting something going?
Well, you know, anytime anybody beats you, you're like, okay, what did we do wrong? But, you know, Sally and EK and Alana, they're excellent sailors, and the thing is, everybody we're racing at this level can win a race. And so if you make a mistake, they're going to capitalize on it. And we noticed where we made one or two mistakes, and, you know, okay, check that off and don't do that again next race. And yeah, they had a little momentum, but, you know, we know that the three of us are really good as well, and just keep plugging along.
Molly, Ann and Debbie have been to the games before, and this is the first time for you. Have they given you any insight or wisdom of what this experience means from now forward?
You know, yes, they said, hey, it's just another regatta, and, you know, pretty cool. We're looking up at that flag when we're coming in, and that was pretty exciting, and obviously they're very happy for me, which was really cool, and I'm very ecstatic. But at the end of the day, you know, match racing is you have to win the race, and if you don't win the race, you go home. So it's another regatta, and it's just cool that we get to represent the United States.
All three of you had an Olympic dream for a long time, and Debbie, you came very close last games, and you get to continue your Olympic dream this time. What will it take for you guys to get on the podium this summer?
I think just keep doing the same thing that we do every single day, and it's just outwork our competitors, train hard, have good conversations with our coach Dave Dell, and have fun, really. You know, we're not going to change much, we're just going to keep going.
Yeah, Anna, talk about Dave Dellenbaugh and the importance that he is in this team.
Yeah, I think Dave was our rock out there. You know, he just kept the information coming the same, regardless of what the score was, regardless what race we were in, or really regardless of who we were sailing. Just kept the same info coming, same like critiques after the race, and never overanalyzed everything. And he's a critical part of our team, definitely like the fourth member of our team. And so we're super psyched that he's here, and we're really excited we get to take him to the games with us too.
You know, really, it's a lot of depth on the team with Jenny and Sally. And just talk about how the whole process made you guys better.
The U.S. Olympic trials, I think, is definitely the hardest regatta to do in the world. You know, like you said, we have Team Solik and Team Barkow. Both, you know, all three of us are top 10 world teams. And so coming into this regatta, you know, you're not just beating, you know, two average sailors going into the games. It's basically, we were saying, we're hoping it's the gold medal match right there, you know, and the team that, whoever ended up going to the Olympics is going to, you know, come home with the gold medal, because we're that strong at pushing each other. We know that the other teams are training hard, and you just had to, you know, try and do just that little bit more to train that much harder. We have, like I said, 3 fantastic U.S. teams, and, you know, just that inspiration of, we're all good, and it's going to be a tough trials, and you just got to put that extra little bit of training in. You know, I think really has pushed all of us to the level that we're at, and definitely pushed us to keep training even on, you know, lovely Weymouth days like this morning was.
Anna, when you set out to do this campaign, I guess 3 or 4 years ago, depending on when you actually launched your match racing campaign, how much does the campaign that you run mirror the image of what you had in your mind for an ideal campaign? I mean, is it played out this way, or have you made some decisions along the way that maybe you didn't expect?
I think, you know, when we first committed, I wasn't really totally understanding of what it meant to campaign with a team, and, what the way I would campaign is not the way that Molly would or Debbie would, and so we had to throw all our ideas together. And those guys came from team campaigns, and so we learned really early on how to run a campaign that would work for our team, and we stuck with that plan, and we saw good results early, and maybe fine-tuned a part here or there, but just the commitment of all of us working on that same plan together. I think about 2 years ago we settled with this is what we're going to do, this is the amount of time we need to do and commit, and I think it worked out and is working out.
Yeah. Debbie, what about you? You've been on a 3-person campaign before, which is an interesting dynamic. There's a lot of, how is this campaign maybe different or similar to your previous campaign?
Yeah, I mean, I think, right from the beginning, I told these guys, hey, I have a couple of ideas, but, we have to all accept them and choose if we want to use them or not. And I think we've definitely took a couple of those ideas and then just molded it to what we like and changed a couple things here and there. But yeah, I mean, for sure, I'm very, very, valuable to have all that experience on a 3-person team.
That concludes our coverage of the U.S. women's match racing trials. While the weather wasn't all it could have been here in Portland, it certainly was a great event. 4 great teams came in, and the best team emerged, and certainly that team is going to head into the Olympics as a medal favorite, if not the gold medal favorite, based on their competition to win the U.S. berth. We'll be back in just a few months with full coverage of the Olympic Games. Until then, this is Stuart Strolley for Sailing World Magazine. Thanks for tuning in.